I know it's been a while because hunting right now takes up most of our time. Every morning one of us will go hunting. They come back, but usually by 10, and then at 2:30 in the afternoon the other one goes hunting. So we don't have a whole lot of time to get much done. But today, or this morning, we had thunderstorms and a lot of rain, so it was a good day to stay inside and work on something else. So we're hoping you guys want to join us while we try to make our very first cheese. So for Eddie's birthday, I bought him this cheese making kit. Not that he wants to make cheese, mind you, but he does want to eat the cheese. So I got him this cheese making kit, and I told him that I would make the cheese and then he could eat the cheese when it was done. So he has chosen to make Colby cheese out of this kit. It makes a lot of different cheeses, and he chose to try to make Colby first. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to try to make cheese. And I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to come out. We may totally mess it up in the first step. But hey, you got to have fun, right? Alright, as you guys know, I don't have a kitchen that is really made for videoing anything. Because I only have the one counter here and the stove. So, this kit comes with everything you need except for the milk and the salt. We have calcium chloride. We have a basket that I'm assuming the cheese fits into afterwards. We have rennet tablets and cultures for different kinds of cheeses. And it comes with a cheesecloth. So, we're going to try to make Colby cheese. So the first thing we have to do is, for each recipe, you have to use 2 gallons of milk. So we need 2 gallons of milk, and we need to warm it to 86 degrees. Oh yeah, it also comes with the thermometer. So if you want to pour the milk into the pan.
Big pot.
Yeah, pan, pot. Does it make a difference? Okay, fine. Pour it into the pot. And we're just using whole milk. So warm the milk to 86. If using, add calcium chloride and stir. So, do we put the calcium chloride in after we warm it up or before? Well, page 3, it says, add calcium chloride before the culture and rennet. If the milk gives a weak curd and takes an inordinate amount of time to set, you want to add more calcium chloride. 1/4 teaspoon per gallon to your next cheese making effort. The rule of thumb is to use the same amount of calcium chloride as rennet. Well, it doesn't say when to use it or when to put it in. So, but it does say to warm the milk to 86. Period. Then it says if using, add calcium chloride and stir. So I guess we'll warm it up first and then we'll put it in. Oh, dilute in 1/4 cup of cool non-chlorinated water, add to cool milk, stir gently for 1 minute. Okay, so you want to grab 1/4 cup of cool water.
Cool or cold?
Just cool. And we want what? A 1/2 teaspoon? 1/4 teaspoon per gallon. So we want a 1/2 teaspoon. And we could try it without, but
What is that?
that's the calcium chloride. It makes it have a firmer curd. Produce a firmer curd. Okay, so pour that into the milk and stir it in for a minute. You have to keep stirring for 1 minute. You know, the worst part about making cheese is we're going to get it all made, but we can't eat it for like 6 months.
6 months?
I think it said,
Holy crap.
oh no, it says 2 to 3 months.
That's no fun.
I know. Alright, we've reached 86 degrees, so add culture and mix thoroughly, let it ripen at 86 for an hour. Okay, so the culture, 1 packet of mesophilic direct set culture. So we want the mesophilic. And that one's thermophilic. Alright, so we're supposed to put this in and then let it sit for 2 minutes before we mix it. That's it. So let that sit for 2 minutes and then we'll mix it in. This is going to be so cool if this actually comes out. I wonder, you know, they give you these tablets and it says to use a half of a tablet. Why don't they just give you a half of a tablet? Why make you cut it? Because when we cut it, it's probably going to crumble.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is it all dissolved?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't see any floating anywhere.
All right, put the cover on it and we let it sit for 1 hour. So we're going to put the timer on.
And we have to maintain it at 86 degrees?
Yes, we have to keep it at 86 degrees. All right, time's up. And it actually stayed at 88 degrees the whole time. Okay, so add the rennet and gently stir into the milk for 1 minute. Top stir for 1 minute. Let the milk set for 30 minutes or until the curd shows a clean break. Half of a rennet tablet dissolved in a 1/4 cup of water. We need a 1/4 cup of water.
Cool water or warm water?
86 degrees, I would guess. You think I can actually... It's probably gonna like shatter.
Probably.
I can't even cut it.
Push.
I'm trying. But I don't want it to shoot across the kitchen either.
Pump.
There.
There you go.
Okay, so we have to dissolve it in the water. And this knife's already dirty, so we'll just stick it in there. Maybe we should have been dissolving this for the last 10 minutes of the time.
You guys should have got the water hotter.
Maybe. Alright, so it only took like 10 minutes to dissolve that. So okay, so gently stir it into the milk for 1 minute. And then it says top stir for 1 minute. So are we stirring for 2 minutes or are we just...
No, I don't know.
And then we have to let it set for 30 minutes or until the curd shows a clean break.
A clean break?
Yeah, you stick your finger in it, your pinky finger in it, and you like go like that, like make a line in it, and the edges should be like a nice clean break. You'll see when we do it. Has it been a minute yet?
Mm-mm.
How do you know?
Because I looked at my watch.
But you're not looking at your watch now.
It's only been 40 seconds.
Give me that.
Well, you said slowly stir it.
Yes, but you have to stir all the way down to the bottom, honey. Let it sit for 30 minutes, and then we'll check it for a clean break. So, let's put 30 minutes on the timer. Okay, 30 minutes.
See in a half hour.
Okay, time's up. Let me wash my hands. We gotta check it for a clean break now. Okay, so you're supposed to drag your finger through it and see how the edges, it's not really a clean break. It's kind of mushy still. So we're gonna give it another 5 minutes and then we'll check it again. All right, 5 minutes has gone by. Let's check it again. That looks pretty good to me. So, I mean, I don't know if it's right or not. Like we said, we've never tried to make cheese, so Eddie's gonna cut the curd. So grab a nice long knife over there, and I explained to you how to do it already. So
yeah, but I don't see how. How do you cut liquid?
it's not liquid; it's the curds. So you're gonna do 3/8 inch lines all the way across it. You know, and it don't have to be perfect.
All the way to the bottom, right?
Yes, all the way to the bottom.
1/8 of an inch?
No, 3/8.
Oh, 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, like I can.
And you don't want it to take 2 days either. So just, you know, cut it.
Just
Like,
do it
it's no big deal.
You should go with your tape. And I'm gonna lie.
You got it. So while Eddie's cutting the curds, let's say hi to Tony. You can say hi.
Hi.
All right, guys, we're gonna give Eddie about 20 minutes to cut that curd, and then we'll come back and see what we have to do next.
Okay, now what?
All right, so now it says to stir very gently, just to break it up. So you can see those big curds? So take your knife and run it through. There you go. So when I stir it and bring up the big curds, you can just chop them. Okay, so now the instructions say to let the curds rest for 5 minutes to firm them up, and then we have to raise the temperature 2 degrees every 5 minutes until it reaches 102 degrees. So I don't know how we're supposed to raise it by 2 degrees every 5 minutes. I mean, all we can do is put the stove on low. That's
Watch and see what it
that's
comes.
as low as you can do. So in 5 minutes we'll turn the stove back on. Oh, okay, so for the 30 minutes we're gonna gently stir the curds, and then we don't touch it for 5 minutes and let the curds go to the bottom. Okay, so this might be where we totally mess up this cheese, because it says to hold it at 102 for 30 minutes. It also says gently stirring the curds, and every time I stir it, the temperature goes down. So I don't know if it's actually at 102. But I started the timer for the 30 minutes, so I guess we'll just like stir it every now and then, because we don't want the curds to mat together, it says. So see, the curds keep settling, but there it is. And the hard part, or the difficult part, is that if it doesn't come out right, we really don't know why, because we've never done this before. So how would you know what your mistake is unless, you know, like somebody's teaching you how to do this? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We'll be back when the 30 minutes is up and see what we need to do after. Okay, so now you gotta let it set for 5 minutes to let all the curds settle on the bottom of the pan. So we'll set the timer for 5 minutes. And now we're just gonna let them settle. Okay, that was a fast 5 minutes. Okay, so drain off the whey to the level of the curd. What feels hot? Oh, I have the oven on, never mind me. I was like, why is it hot? Like, we're not cooking the cheese. Drain off the whey to the level of the curd, and then add tap water at 60 degrees until the temperature of the curd and water reaches 80. Stir while adding the water. Hold the curd at 80 for 15 minutes. There's a lot of holding it at certain temperatures.
What am I doing?
You need 60 degrees if you can get 60 in the sink. Stir while adding the water. Hold the curd at 80 for 15 minutes. Stop. Hold on a minute. Okay. Pour it all in. Okay, pour the curds into a cheesecloth lined colander. Allow the curds to drain for 20 minutes. So I already got that ready for us right here. Problem is we have my dirty dishes from my bread in the sink. So let me fix that right quick, and then we will drain these out. So just let it sit for 20 minutes, and then we'll add the cheese. I mean, yeah, we're going to add the cheese. We're going to add the salt, and then we have to put it into the mold. So we're almost there. Okay, so the curds have been sitting, draining for 20 minutes. So now, okay, we have to add 2 tablespoons of cheese salt and mix it thoroughly but gently We don't have cheese salt, so I ground up 2 tablespoons of kosher salt because I looked it up and it just said that the only problem with kosher salt is that it's a bigger grain. So I have 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, and I'm going to mix this in here. And while I'm doing this, Eddie is going to go get Mikey from the bus, and then we need to pour it into the mold. So you can go and I will take care of this. Thoroughly yet gently. I don't know.
It's very interesting that about 28 to 2,900 years ago, they suddenly stopped building these mounds.
And from what I understand, putting the salt in it is not only for flavor, but to help drain the whey, because you know salt. Salt draws the moisture out of whatever you put it on, so it's hard to believe that this is going to turn into cheese. But the thing I find most interesting is that this is going to be a Colby cheese. Like, what makes this different from, say, a cheddar cheese or anything else? I mean, all we did was warm up the milk, separate the cheese, the curds and the whey, and so what makes it a Colby instead of a cheddar cheese? I think the next one we're going to do after this one is the farmhouse cheddar. But I don't know. Eddie's going to choose. This was his birthday present. He actually wanted me to make the cheese. Eddie actually wanted me to make the cheese just so that he could eat it, and the cheese itself was going to be his birthday present. But I told him that it was a good way for us to spend time together doing something other than work. And, I mean, I guess making cheese could be considered work, but we don't look at it as work. It's fun. It's a lot more fun than all the work we need to do. Okay, so I think that's mixed in pretty good. So now we have to place them into the cheesecloth lined mold and press it at 20 pounds of pressure for 20 minutes. And then we flip it and press for 12 hours. Then we flip it again and do it for another 20 hours. Or 12 hours, not 20 hours, sorry. So I'm going to get this all into the mold. And we did buy some, like, some weights, like some, wow, this doesn't look like this is going to fit in here at all. There's no way this is all going to fit. I don't know what we're supposed to do at this point because, I mean, you know, it's their recipe and their basket, and there's no way. I've only put half of it in there. So, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, you know, like the dumbbell weights, we bought 2 of them that were 10 pounds each. So that'll give us 20 pounds. Yeah, I don't know. There's no way I'm gonna get this all in here.
This refinery in Texas City was the 3rd largest in the U.S., capable of refining more than 450,000 barrels of crude a day.
Mass processing millions of gallons of highly explosive compounds is incredibly dangerous.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe mound it up until we put the weight on it.
Is a professor of chemical engineering.
Did we get too many curds from our milk?
One way of thinking about an oil refinery is it's a bomb. Typically,
Oh boy.
volatile and flammable and explosive. Everybody that works there knows this, and so safety is an extremely important part of agriculture.
The volatile chemicals can be turned into more than 2,000.
Yeah,
And one of the most in demand
I think
is
we're gonna end up losing part of this because I don't see that it's not gonna squish out once we put the 20 pounds on there. But I'm gonna try to level it out on the top here.
the boiling heart of the isolated
And then we're supposed to put this across the top.
65 days a year.
Okay, so that's gonna have to do. And we have this
On March 24th,
circular plate.
Assistant Fire Chief
that Eddie made. So we're gonna set that on top of there. And I'm gonna go, oh no, I can't go grab the weights because Eddie just took it. So what I am gonna do, I don't think it's 20 pounds, but I'm gonna set my cast iron pot on top of there for now until he comes back with the truck, because we left the weights in the back of the truck after we bought them yesterday. So so there we go. So I know it's not completed because, you know, 20 minutes from now we're going to flip it over, put the weights on it and all that. But obviously you don't need to see me flip the cheese and put the weights on it. So what's going to happen now is 20 minutes from now I'm going to flip this over, put the weights back on it. And then in 12 hours I'll flip it back over and put the weights back on it. And then, so after that 24 hours, we're going to take it out of the mold, take the cheesecloth off, and then we're going to air dry it on a cutting board for 2 to 3 days and let it dry out. It just says for several days. And then we store it at 50 degrees for 2 to 3 months. So I guess we're going to have to show you in 2 to 3 months how it tastes, if it came out, or if something goes wrong with it before then. We'll show you that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing if this worked. Okay, it's been 24 hours. We let this set for 12 hours and we flipped it over and we let it set another 12 hours. And please excuse the mess. I've been canning beans all day today, but I wanted to unwrap this cheese and show you guys what we've got. Hopefully we got a block of cheese. Whoa. I don't know how we're supposed to get it out of the basket. I had it sitting in this bowl so that the whey would drain away from it. I think what we do is, yep, here we go. So there's the basket. Now we're supposed to let this set. Oh, look at that. We got a we have an edge on the cheese. If you can see that. So it's got a lip on it because of the plate that we had on here. I guess it wasn't big enough. So that is supposed to be Colby cheese in 2 to 3 months. But we're supposed to set it now. I don't know if I should trim that off or just leave it, but we're gonna let it set here for a couple of days and let it dry, I guess it said. So yep. So after this dries for a couple of days, we will put it in something that holds it at about 50 degrees for 2 to 3 months, and then we'll be able to try it. And at that time we will bring you back, unless it molds or something before then. But I think when it's dry, I'm going to put it in a what do you call them bags?
Vacuum seal bag?
Vacuum seal bag. So once it's dry, I'll put it in a vacuum seal bag, and then we'll store it as close to 50 degrees as we can get, and then we will bring you back to try it.